That's me, Bognor Regis, 1984. 26 years old, fresh out of uni. Degree in hand, overdraft, maxed, and the punk scene fading faster than my student grant. No job, no cash. Back living with mum and dad in my childhood bedroom, with a Clash poster and a cracked mirror still hanging where I left them. The eyeliner had run, the amps had gone quiet, and real life was knocking hard, so I did what anyone would do. I put on my leather jacket, walked down to the beach, and tried to remember who the hell I was. I didn't have a plan, but I had a battered sailboard, a broken stereo, and a van that coughed like a smoker in winter. And most importantly, I was home. Not to settle, to start again. A name that sounds like a punchline, and often was. But to me, it was home. A seaside town holding onto two identities like flotsam clinging to a tide. At one end of the seafront Butlins, a factory of fun. Redcoats, talent shows, plastic pints, and cheesy chips. Working class Britain on holiday. At the other end, the Royal Norfolk, still dreaming of the Empire, the kind of place where people dressed for dinner even if no one else turned up.
That contrast, Butlins at one end, the Royal Norfolk at the other, wasn't just Bognor. That was Britain in the 80s. Working class grit squaring up to middle class comfort. But the ground was shifting. Thatcher had thrown a brick through the old order, and out of the rubble came a new kind of ambition. A wave of working class kids from London, sharp, creative, fearless. They went into fashion, film, design, magazines, and they were killing it. Money, style, attitude. They didn't ask permission. They just took up space. And somehow, my world was about to collide with theirs. It started with something I knew like the back of my hand. And they didn't. Sailing. Well, windsurfing to be exact. The sport of the moment. Fast, wild, and just dangerous enough to be cool. Here they are, the cast of characters I'd be sharing my life with. We'd race together, dance together, laugh till we couldn't breathe, and occasionally punch each other in the face. Phil Jenkins, the ringleader, looked like a rock star, drove like he was auditioning for Bond, could charm anyone, including himself, had a Ferrari, a Rolex, and the world by the throat. Mark Dean, the golden boy, mop of black curls, eyes that could stop traffic, fit, funny, loyal to the bone, and completely unaware of the effect he had on people. Men, women, didn't matter. He was the soul of the whole bloody thing. Mark Turner, the sharpest tongue in town, the funniest bloke you'd ever meet, had us in tears most days, and full-blown hysterics the rest. And then there was Alan and Jan. No one knew where they'd come from, but they didn't look like they belonged in Bognor. Alan was tall, smooth, always immaculately dressed, sharp suits, gold cufflinks, like he'd walked out of a gangster film and into the wrong town. Jan was something else entirely. Gorgeous, glamorous, a faux fur coat, killer heels, and a smile that could melt concrete, huge afro, eyes like she knew everything and was only telling you half of it. She looked like Diana Ross had turned up to host Top of the Pops in a club above a kebab shop. Together they were electric, ran a nightclub like a stage show, brought the drama, brought the danger, brought the night to life. Everyone just called him Captain Bob, postman by day, philosopher by night, stoner, full-time, laid back. He lived on another planet entirely, spoke in riddles, thought he was a genius. And you know what? He probably was. We just didn't understand the bloody language. He drove Dwight, the huge wooden-sided Oldsmobile that the London boys loaded with the Mistral superlights to come down to Bognor. He refused to rush, ever. We'd all be rigged and ready, and he'd still be halfway through rolling something heroic. He was chaos, he was calm, he was Captain Bob. And somehow, he made it all make sense. Eventually.